Welcome to the Moto Talks Motocross post-race show hosted by Moto Daily. It is January 18th, 2026. As always, guys, can check out the Moto Daily socials and all the Moto Talk Motocross Instagram and TikTok accounts by checking our bio. We'd like to thank all the sponsors on the talk show and on the main channel that keep this going, such as Intake Breathing, Crocodile Cloth, Cargo Smart, Corner Coach, Vulgar Coast, Smart Straps, Rebel Optics, Vortex Racing, Circuit Equipment, Onyx Off-Road, and BC Goggle Co. I am extremely sick right now, so my voice sounds pretty bad. I'm very hoarse, and I'm gonna be having to pause the camera a lot so I could do my cough breaks. But anyways, yesterday, round 2, San Diego, some interesting stuff happened. I think it went pretty well. We're gonna dive right into it. We're not the talk show that's just gonna kind of like bullshit our way around. We're just gonna dive right into it. So starting off in the 250 class, we saw Hayden Deegan repeat what he did last week in Anaheim 1, starting off with a heat win, which was really good for him. And then we also saw Deegan win the main event. Now, that main event, there was one thing that was pretty interesting, and that was that little incident that he had with Max Anstey, his teammate. Now, it makes me upset when Deegan does stuff like this. Now, he said in the interview that he did not mean to take him out. Max has made it clear that he was not happy with that move. He did not like it. Max said multiple times that he wasn't going to put up a fight. He knows that Deegan is faster. So if Deegan was on the inside of him, Max was going to obviously not like slow down for him, but he was going to kind of just let him do his own thing. Max said he didn't want to play the game, but Deegan wanted to play, and Deegan won the game. But it makes me upset when Hayden does that, because it's like, we know he's the fastest 250 rider, but you gotta stop taking people out. Because when you take people out, it makes it seem like that's the only way you can win. We're 2 races in and he's already took 2 people out. He took out Cameron McAdoo last week, and he took out Max Anstey this week. Dude, we know you're fast. We know you're fast. We know you can win. But when you take people out back to back to back, and you keep doing it, it makes it seem like that's the only way you can win, by taking people out. Now, there's a difference between some riders. There's the type of rider like Deegan, who a lot of people are now calling the younger version of Bam Bam. And there are riders like Hunter Lawrence in the 450 class. We saw Hunter and Eli battling. The battle to the checkered flag was insane. It was so beautiful to watch. And Hunter was actually going to pull a dirty move on Eli, and he said in the interview he was going to do it, but he realized that would be really dirty and it wouldn't be fair. So he backed off. That's how you should do it. Now, I'm not the type of guy where it's like no takeouts are allowed. Like, it's Supercross. We're not playing soccer. But when you take out people every single week, it kind of gets annoying. It really does. It really gets annoying. Also, you gotta respect ET3. I mean, that was just an incredible race. I told my dad, I'm like, I have Tomac winning for San Diego. He's like, what? I'm like, he's gonna do it. And he did it. And what's funny is because we saw the gap close in like crazy from Hunter and Eli. And the reason why that gap got so close is because Eli didn't even know that Lawrence was right behind him, which makes me laugh a little bit, you know. But Hunter Lawrence was really close to getting his first Supercross win, but that's going to have to get put off to another day. Going back to the 250 class, just kind of overall going what happened. Kawasaki did better. They did better. We saw Kitchen crash in the first corner yet again. But we saw him get up to, I believe he got all the way up to 4th. I will do my check on that. Let's look. Levi Kitchen got up to 4th. Definitely an improvement from last week. Cameron McAdoo got 2nd. An improvement from last week. Going over to the 450 class, Sexton got 4th. So close to putting the Cowie on the box. We also saw Sexton win the heat race, which was really cool to see. Past Prado like it was no one's damn business. And speaking of Prado got 9th. So we were talking about it yesterday in Pick Day Friday, where a lot of people were not putting Prado anywhere on their RM Fantasy Pick app because people were saying that Prado was a one-hit wonder. And Prado got 9th. So is he a one-hit wonder? Maybe. The point standings are Tomac, Roxon, Hunter Lawrence, Sexton. Sexton's in 4th in points, but he's 18 points back. But we're so early into the season. Justin Cooper, that's your top 5. Cooper Webb is in 6th. And Prado went from 3rd in the points all the way down to 9th. So maybe Prado is a one-hit wonder, I guess, but we'll never know. Now, just this gives us such a clear idea of who is going to win the Supercross season. Now, it would be insane. A lot of people are probably rooting for Hunter Lawrence because, the guy, he does work really hard. He's trying to get his first chip in Supercross or at all in the 450 class. But I think it's honestly between Tomac and Roxon. I really think that it's going to be one of them. I think Sexton is maybe going to end up in 3rd overall at the end of the season. But it makes me so happy to see the older guys just back out front and fighting for a chip. It makes me really, really happy to see because I wasn't old enough to watch these guys in their prime. I wasn't old enough to watch Anderson, Plessinger, Tomac, Roxon. I wasn't old enough to watch these guys in their prime. So the fact that I can watch them now compete for a chip and get up front and get heat wins and all that stuff makes me really happy. We almost saw Anderson take the heat race, which would have been really nice to see. I'm a big Anderson fan. But, it's so interesting to me that the 250 class is something that is not really expected. We see, Max Anstey is 1 point down from Deegan. So you already know that next week there's going to be some bars touching. Max Anstey kind of let Deegan have it a little bit in an interview. Max said Deegan's starts are not good, and he said that my starts have always been really good. So he said, I'm sure we're going to be in that position again. But Deegan first, Anstey second. Chance Hymas is 3rd in points right now. It's hard to say Deegan is not going to win the title just because of how aggressive of a rider he is, but the kid makes a lot of mistakes, and that's where Max Anstey could step in and he could take it away from him. Now, going back to Sexton, I think Sexton really did improve last week. You go from 8th place last week to 4th. I think that's pretty good. He even said he's close to getting it on the box. We saw Sexton on new suspension today, or yesterday, we saw Sexton on new suspension yesterday, so that obviously must have played a big factor in it. So did Sexton improve? I think he did. I think he showed everyone that he can improve on that bike at early in the season, and I see Sexton maybe. I think I could see Sexton getting on the podium next week in A2. So you never know. And we are doing our real versus reality picks. So we are in the RM Fantasy SX app. And we're going to be going over our picks, which ones we picked, and what we got right. So last week we only got 1 right. And that was Eli Tomac. This week we got 2 right. So we also improved. I did say yesterday, I said the goal is to get 2 right. Now, if Roxon finished in 2nd and Hunter finished in 3rd, if they swapped places, we would have got 4 picks right, which would have been insane to me. So my picks were Eli Tomac, Ken Roxon, Hunter Lawrence, Chase Sexton. I put Prado for 5th, and then I put Anderson for the wild card. The reality, Tomac 1st, Hunter 2nd, Roxon 3rd, Sexton 4th, Savachi for 5th, and then we got Plessinger for 7th. So we were really close from getting 4 picks right. I would have been really happy about that. But I knew I was going to pick Tomac for San Diego. I was so confident in that pick. He did so good last year in San Diego. He did really good this year. We saw how he was in A1. That was a no-brainer for me. Next, I think A2 is going to be very, very interesting. I'm actually going to A2 next week. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to be getting some in-person videos that we're going to be posting all over the social media, so stay tuned for that. I know this was such a short episode. I feel like shit, but I'm still going to get this episode out. So, also, not much to talk about. I mean, the difference between A1, there's so much to talk about, but as the rounds go on, I'm sure there will be some races that are very interesting, but San Diego was very, very chill. So, let me know in the comments down below who you guys wanted to win San Diego. If you guys are happy with the results, who's going to win the championship, where I know we're so early into the season, but you got to get the early predictions in. As always, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.